Welcome back to another episode of A Cup of Joe. Today's special guest is Bruce with Rescue Me Home Inspections. Bruce,
Hey,
what's up?
how you doing?
Welcome to the pod.
Thank you.
That's what the kids are calling it now.
That's what it is?
It's the pod.
Mm,
They done cut the cast off.
kids.
I know. Welcome to the podcast.
Appreciate you.
We're glad you're here.
Thank you.
Bruce is obviously one of our preferred vendors. You do so many inspections for all of our clients, and you have so much to bring to the table. And I'm kind of excited to bring you into the loop to kind of like tell the world a little bit about what you do. And obviously, home inspection like so boring, right? But it actually, there's a lot of exciting things that happen in inspections.
It's kind of fun.
And we want to kind of tell you guys a little bit about what goes behind the scene and what's the difference in the inspections. And you as a buyer, as you're looking to buy your home or whether you're even looking to sell your home, like you probably want to get it pre-inspected or you want to get your home inspected before you actually buy it. And so we're going to dig deeper into what Bruce does for us and the services that he's able to offer. So Bruce, if you want to give us just a quick intro of like who you are, what your company does, and I don't even know how we met, but we're going to get into that.
Sounds good. So, as Jordan said, I am Bruce Smith, Rescue Me Inspections. Actually, is Rescue Me Inspection Services Incorporated.
Okay.
But we do residential and commercial inspections. I actually started doing commercial inspections before I did residential inspections. So, commercial inspection side this year makes 20 years.
Wow. What made you want to go from commercial to residential?
I purchased my first home, and the inspector that I used, I knew a lot more than he did.
Mm.
And so then when I finally purchased my second home, I'm like, all right, I need to do this because it just makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you already have the experience. Why not?
Right.
Yeah. So what does your company work with as far as like you said, commercial, residential? Are you looking for like remodels during construction, first time home buyers? Like who are you mainly working with? Or just like a little bit of mix of everybody?
Pretty much everyone. First-time home buyers. We do insurance inspections. We do obviously commercials. That covers everything from churches to Airbnbs. We do new construction. We do multi-dwelling. We handle everything.
That's interesting. So tell our audience, why should they get an inspection on a new construction home?
Mhm. Uh, if you saw my last video, not all home builders are created equal.
That is
Uh,
a fact.
in the state of Alabama, it is I think it's an 89 question test, open book,
Mm-hmm.
to be a home builder.
Mm-hmm.
The passing score is 69.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something to think about. And most home builders, once they have the builder certification, then they subcontract out someone to do the plumbing, subcontract out someone to do the foundation, and they just put their name on it and say, yep, this is our home. So not all home builders are created equal. To be a home inspector, whether it's me or another inspector, it's a 200 question, multiple choice question test with multiple correct answers, timed with the camera in your face, not open book, and it's over a national standard. So we have to know stuff that I've never seen, like baseboard heaters, boiler systems, ice dams, things that we don't have in the South, but that's what we're tested on.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So, in one sentence, why should someone trust you over somebody else?
I trust the process of home inspecting over myself, meaning
Okay.
to make it to this point to be a home inspector, you have to have a lot of knowledge and foresight. And then from there, pretty much pick your inspector based off reputation and longevity in the game.
Mhm.
Just because it is so much new stuff that comes out and different codes change and things of that nature. So we have to be abreast of it. So we're governed by the Alabama Building Commissioner. So they make sure that we have continuing education classes and things of that nature to make sure we're on top of whatever changes. But our slogan is inspection from those you already trust. So that's your answer.
Yeah, yeah. So, walk me through your origin story. Like, how did you get started to becoming a home inspector? Like, what was the first step? But then I also know there was a really breaking story of what pushed you to get into this industry. Can you share more about that?
Sure. So at the age of 12, my aunt died in a house fire. We stayed in Atlanta. She was visiting her boyfriend. He was working on a car in the garage, and something happened with the fuel line, and the light fell, and it caused it to spark. And she was actually trapped in the house and couldn't get out the front door when the fire broke out. He got out, but he had third-degree burns all over most of his body. So I put that in my mind, and then I wanted to become a firefighter. So I joined the Air Force and became a firefighter. Then once I got older and became more knowledgeable about fire service, I was able to pull the report and found out that she died from smoke inhalation. She didn't get out of the front door because it had one of those key-required deadbolt locks, and she didn't know where the key was. And so then the inspection part came in.
Wait,
so,
the key was on the inside?
yeah, so some of the deadbolt locks, it has a key that unlocks it instead of a twist lock.
That's so stupid. Why would someone do that?
I find those in multiple houses today, too.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. For this very reason, like in a panic.
Exactly. So
Is that legal? You could do that?
It is.
Y'all wild now. That's crazy.
So that's why I have the passion for Rescue Me Home Inspection. So
That's
most people
terrible.
think Rescue Me is the play on the firefighter, but it's
Mhm.
actually what we do.
It's, yeah, like, oh man, I hate to hear that. But I also appreciate that you were able to take that as, like, to refuel you, no pun intended, to, like, redirect that to, help avoid that, hopefully, for someone in the future.
Indeed.
Um,
And it's all a commitment to service to others.
You gotta love this job
I do.
to do this job, because I'm sure it's probably a thankless job. I mean, there's some aspects to our job where we feel like that, where you just, are yelled at and cussed at. I think everybody, no matter which side of the equation I'm on, if I'm representing the seller and the buyer gets the inspection, the seller's already dogging out the inspector. Oh, he don't even know what he's talking about. He's pointing these things out. Where did he get his license from? There's nothing wrong with that switch. He just don't know how to work it. I mean, they're constantly
Right.
berating and just kicking down the inspectors, but ultimately your job is to protect people's interest and what they're purchasing.
Right.
What has been the biggest risk or turning point for you so far?
Biggest risk. So we walk a thin line. So we don't want to damage the sale, because then we're destroying the relationship with the agent on both sides. But we also are entitled to and protect
You have a
the people
duty.
that hire us.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest risk for me. I find enjoyment in it because it came kind of like as a kid. Remember those Where's Waldo's books?
Yeah.
I used to enjoy those. So
Yeah.
I would always try to find what's wrong. And now
Yeah.
I can't turn it off. So as I was walking through this facility, I'm looking at different stuff. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
here, what's
Yeah.
this? And it's a mixture between Where's Waldo and Scooby Doo, because now it's a mystery. So now I see the defect. How did it happen? So now I got to go find it.
You got to find
How
it.
it happened. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel like that helps drive you?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does drive you?
Service to self, service to others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
As a
that.
retired 25-year firefighter, it's as you said, most of the time it's no recognition.
It's a
in what we
thankless
do.
job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of used to that kind of condition for it. But I find satisfaction in it because I know what I'm doing for others. And if I find something that's going to help save others, it's also going to help save my brothers on the firefighter side if they ever have to come in. We use that same approach when we're doing the inspections as
It's
we
like
would
a
do.
full circle moment.
Yep.
Wow.
As we would do with search and rescue efforts. So as I go in the house, in the firefighter world, we use something called a right hand or a left hand search pattern when we're looking for potential victims or what have you.
Yeah.
And that's the same approach I use when I'm going in homes.
I love that.
And we only employ
That- yeah.
firefighters as well.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
So we
Why
are-
is it that you only employ firefighters?
It's the mindset.
Yeah.
Most firefighters always have a part-time job anyway.
Anyway, yeah, because you don't make a lot of money doing that job.
But then when they have their part-time job, they're doing something where they're putting their life in danger, or expose themselves to heat or anything like that to where is taxing on their bodies after being at the fire station. So when I created the model for the business, so to speak, it just allowed it for easy transition for firefighters. Most of us only work 12 days a month anyway,
Mm-hmm.
so it's a lot of
When
free
you
time.
set your own appointments, this is such a
Yep.
great way to, kind of like work within the parameters of when you can. And, a lot of our contracts, call within 7 days. So typically, you're able to do that. I love that. Okay, so let's talk about what makes you great. So walk me through your process, your standards, and what you do differently.
So my process, typically, once we pull up to a house, I usually run with another inspector with me. So we're pretty proficient. He would do his part. Not going to give out my trade secrets, and then I would do my part, and we kind of feed off each other
Oh,
and
that's
kind of play off each
interesting.
other. Yeah,
Two heads are better than one.
indeed. So he'll see something that I didn't see, or vice versa, and we'll make sure we note the deficiency.
I love that.
But we are pretty proficient, pretty thorough, and it's enjoyable.
So how, like, do you have like a certain standard that you go off of when you're doing these inspections? Like how many, I guess, point checklist or something?
No. So the way I explain it, you look at that door. You see a door.
I see a door.
I see if it's an interior door, if it's an exterior door, if it's an in-swing door, if it's a fire-rated door. I check to see if it's the rated 36 inches. I check the locking mechanism. I check to make sure the striker plate's on the right side. I also check to make sure the hinges are properly positioned. I also check to make sure you have enough clearance at the bottom. I make sure the headers are on the door. And then, let's see here. Did I say fire-rated or not?
I lost count.
Yeah. So that's what I see when I look at a door.
So how do you keep up with it though? Like, do you have like in your report, like these are the minimum things you check in this segment or area? Like, how do you keep up with it and stay organized?
It's in my brain.
It's in your brain? Well, you said not everyone's created equal. And the results that clients can expect after you've done your inspection. You're actually pretty quick at turning things around.
Yeah, we
They're
do
very thorough.
24 hours or less.
Walk me through how you inspect decks.
So first thing I would do is I look at the exterior part of the deck. And if I can get underneath, then I make sure it has lag bolts, which makes it properly secure to the home. Then from there, I make sure you have the right support pillars. They are the right size. Make sure the pillars are in concrete as opposed to on the ground. Same thing with the steps. Depending on the width of the steps, I make sure that you have a stair string, which is the middle part of the steps.
Time out. So, how do you diagnose or tell the age of the wood on that deck? And whether or not so there's boards that go on top,
Mhm.
and then what's underneath the boards are I guess your joists. Is that what they would call it? I'm not a builder, so stay with me. So these joists, how do you inspect the lifespan of those joists and whether or not they're within code?
So as an inspector, we don't do code inspections. That's a different inspection. The city
Okay.
enforces the codes. We inspect to the standards. So like I said, we're governed by certain standards through Alabama Building Commissioner. But with that, it's not a real telltale sign of how old a wood is unless we actually do some type of sample testing to determine, kind of like carbon dating. But
Yeah.
we will look at it to see if it's deteriorating in certain spots,
Mhm.
especially the pressure points for the wood. Then once we get to the um, the ledger board that's going connected to the home, that part where the lag bolts are, typically it should be flashing above that. When you see those decks that collapse, it's because it's not properly connected to the home, or you don't have flashing to prevent the rainwater from deteriorating that wood
From rotting
connected
it
to the
underneath.
house.
So I'm going to give you a scenario.
All right.
Hypothetically.
Okay.
We're hypothetically talking. Hypothetically. I'm representing a buyer in this sale, and the seller literally like botched this deck underneath the boards, but you can't get under it because it's like extending from the house into the woods. So underneath it is basically like dirt. So what the seller did is before they put these boards on that were old, they like really jerry-rigged a lot of these joists. I mean, when you take the boards off, you're like, what person put this together? And then they put the boards on top, and then they coated the entire board, the entire deck, with latex exterior paint to where it gave the appearance that it was brand new. But really underneath it, it was a ticking time bomb. So then the homeowner falls through it 6 years later and has a $67,000 insurance claim. So my question to you is, as a home inspector, how do you find fault when someone is trying to hide it from you?
They often do try to hide things. So inspecting.
Where does the burden fall?
Inspecting is, for me, it's more than what I see. Because some things you can smell. You're not going to taste anything. Some things you can smell. Some things you can hear. So as we're doing the deck inspections, it's sometimes you can find that bounce to it. And even if they paint the wood, you can still see the lines in the wood that'll tell you its age if the wood is rotted. So that would be one of my telltale signs as far as the bounce, as far as the stability of the deck itself, as well as the potential lines in the wood, whether it's painted or sealed or what.
So let's assume that it all looked fine. If that seller hid it from you, does that liability still fall on you? Like you failed it to inspect it because they hid the boards on top?
Correct. So it's a visual inspection. So even if, say something's behind this wall on the other side of us, I can't see it. I can't peel off the wall. I can't peel up the deck boards. I can't move furniture, things of that nature. So it's a visible inspection.
Right.
At the time of the inspection.
At the time of the inspection. Yeah. I think that's where some buyers and sellers try to, do whatever, and the burden still falls on the seller because in this case, like they're probably going to head into a lawsuit because the seller knowingly knew something was wrong, hid it, didn't disclose it, and it has to do with health and safety. But had they said, hey, I jerry-rigged this whole thing, just to give you a heads up, you may just want to point it out that it's been jerry-rigged. I mean, what are the chances of a seller doing that?
Right.
Like, never. They're trying to get rid of their house. They're trying to sell it. But as an inspector, the duty does not fall on like, oh, well, the inspector missed it. Well, you couldn't have known unless you unscrewed and undid everything to inspect it.
Right. Then I would be liable for putting it back together.
Put it back together. So how do you deal with that when there are things that are like, well, I wouldn't have known about it? Do you have like disclosures that state like this scope of inspection is based on what I physically can see with my own eyes?
Exactly. So before we do
you
any
explain
inspection,
that process? Walk me through.
So before we do any inspection, and every inspector does this, we have something called an inspection agreement. One, it allows us to perform the inspection. Two, it describes that we're representing the buyer in this inspection, so we can't sell or release the information to anyone else without their permission. And then the third part is it identifies that we are only responsible for what we can see at that time. And those have to be signed and on file prior to doing the inspection.
That's good to know. So there you go. So it's only what you could see, but you really need to have, is there like, because a lot of times your inspection will call for subsidiary or secondary inspections.
Correct.
What does that look like?
So with the state of Alabama, it's a separate inspection if you have stucco, just an example, because that is on the exterior wall. It may look fine to us, but when we do the inspection, we check for different moisture spots or soft spots, or sometimes you can see different colors in the stucco. But once I see that, then I have to refer it to a specialist that does stucco. Or if I'm doing a basement wall and I put my tester on it and I see the wall is bowing out, then obviously we have to refer it to a structural engineer.
Yeah. Roofing, plumbing, electrical, they're like, you're going to look at the general, what's under the hood, essentially, but then you have to have a master in each trade that can give like a second set or subset of opinions, even like a decking specialist or a roofing specialist or what have you. That's why it's so important that your home inspection contingency periods cover the preliminary, the subset, or the secondary or additional inspections, and there's two separate timelines within that report so that you're able to really walk through all of those moments, because that's your only moment, is to get all of that, diligence done on the front end.
And on that, we was talking about different senses being used. So if I fill up a sink and then I drain the sink, and then I hear a little blop, 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 that lets me know that it's not properly vented. So then I have to go in the attic to find out if the plumbing for that sink goes all the way through the roof. And if I don't see it, then that lets
And
me
there's
know
something that's wrong.
something that's wrong.
You said that you were a master inspector. What does a master inspector mean?
So a certified master inspector, that means I have over 2,500 inspections under my belt, verified, as well as 10 plus years of business.
That's amazing. So you've seen probably it all.
I've seen some interesting things.
Oh, I can't wait to dig into that. Okay, let's talk about your client wins. What is your favorite success story?
First time home buyer.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because
I love first-time home buyers.
they're excited, but they're nervous at the same time.
Right.
And this is probably one of the biggest purchases that they will do. And it's a life-changing moment.
Yeah.
And to be a part of that life-changing moment, it's fulfilling to me.
It is so fulfilling. I totally agree. And what have you loved about working with HBH clients? What are you laughing?
You all are the clients are they're special. They have been well educated and well groomed to when it gets to me, then they're just okay. Jordan handle it, or whatever the agent is. Okay, no problem. They're pretty easygoing.
Okay.
Because it's like they're not coming in blind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that makes me feel good. Okay, I was worried about where you were going with that.
Yes.
We try to consults are very, very important to us. Like to have those conversations before we even get in the car, and just taking the time of sitting down. Like, let's walk you through what this process is going to look like. Like, you're going to have this and this and this, and sometimes it just gets a little overwhelming. Give us your top 3 tips that homeowners should know.
Homeowners or potential homeowners?
Either.
All right, potential homeowners. When you're looking at homes, and whether it's an investment property or just an older property, and it's a historic home or what have you, look at the outlets. If the outlets just have 2 lines and not the little circle part, chances are your electrical system is not grounded. Look at the doors and the windows. If you see a crack going at a weird angle, that just means you're going to need a foundation specialist.
I love that piece of advice, because if it goes at a weird angle, it almost looks like
Stairs. Yeah.
Right? So
Yep.
that means that there is an actual foundation issue. But if it's a clean line, most of the time it's like
sheetrock.
It's a sheetrock crack.
Right.
I did learn that. That's some good stuff. Also, aluminum wiring is almost uninsurable. If you don't know that, now you've heard. Like, even if you buy a house that has existing aluminum wiring, even if the lights work and everything else works, and your house catches on fire after you've bought it, and you did not disclose that to your insurance agent, they will dismiss your claim because it is a fire hazard.
There's a lot of that in this stadium.
Oh, and don't I know it? 3 of them blew up, and I was like, either replace it or we're out. But if you don't disclose this stuff to your insurance agent, don't think you're getting one by, because I promise you, at the second that a claim happens, the first thing is going to look at, where can we get out of it? Where did you mess up and not us? And that is the true tip. Last tip, go.
Last tip. Strange, but take a marble with you.
A marble.
Drop it on the floor. If it keeps rolling, you got some foundation issues.
I love that.
Yeah.
Take a marble. That's a fantastic piece of advice. Okay, lightning round. Ready?
Let's do it.
Because we're almost out of time. What's your favorite job to do?
Favorite job would be historic homes.
Oh God, gross.
I know, but it's a story behind it. It's
Oh, yeah.
like I did one downtown, and they actually still had the slave stairs. Yeah.
Underneath the house?
No, on the side of the house. They didn't allow the slaves to go into the main part of the house so they can access each room from
The outside?
It wasn't outside. It was like a little walkway in the wall, and they had the slave quarters downneath where they allowed them to sleep.
And people are using this house?
Yeah.
Stop it. What is it, like a crawl space now?
No,
It's still livable?
it's still there. Well,
Oh.
not livable. It's no windows or doors
Right.
or anything
Yeah, it's like
that,
a
but
dungeon in those
pretty much.
places.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, craziest thing you've seen on the job.
I saw a perfectly displayed sniper rifle about 20 feet back in the attic where no one could ever reach it. I had so many questions. It was on a stand. It was beautiful scope and everything, but it was in the attic. You had to go down about 10 feet, go behind another wall 10 feet, and it was right there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you asked.
Hey. Okay. Most underrated service.
Most underrated service would be a sewer scope inspection.
Give me a pound on that. Ugh, let me tell y'all don't catch it, but I promise you it is the most crappy situation, no pun intended. If
Exactly.
you don't catch what the heck's happening with those pipes, especially if it's a galvanized pipe.
Galvanized cast iron.
Ugh, it's game over. You want it all ripped out. And what is the one thing you wish everyone knew?
The value of a good inspector.
Oh, so if you think a good inspector is expensive, wait until you hire a cheap one.
Yeah.
So good. Okay, how can people find you, Bruce?
So we're on all social media, Rescue Me Inspections. Like I said, we have several inspectors throughout the state. So you have Rescued by Ben, Rescued by Austin, Rescued by Travis. But we're on Facebook, Instagram. Instagram is also Sneakerhead Inspector too. That's kind of one of my other guilty pleasures. But we are
Sneakerhead
everywhere.
Inspector.
RescueMeInspections.com.
Okay. And y'all have your own website too also, right?
Correct.
And you guys offer how many inspection options? General?
So the pre-listing inspection we do for new construction, we do phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3 inspections.
Oh, while they're constructing it?
Indeed.
Amazing.
So we also do, like I said, the pre-listing and then the pre-purchase inspections. We also do the rental inspections, Airbnb inspections, commercial inspections, sewer line inspections,
All the
radon
inspections.
testing. We do it.
Yeah, radon. I've had a crash course on that. In all my years doing this job, my first radon problem happened last week in the preserve. It was a 5.6 rating. Yeah, it's a whole situation.
That's not common in this area, but
I know.
Yeah.
I know. It like killed the deal. And any special perks for HBH clients that you want to leave us with?
I was going to do something first of the year.
Yeah.
Like a little coupon in the box in the building.
Or something cool. You know, my favorite perk that I've had from any of our vendors, and I like swear by it, it's our carpet cleaning crew. They leave 2 Oscar Mayer baked chocolate chip cookies in a Ziploc bag on the counter every time they do a cleaning.
Oscar Mayer or Otis Spunkmeyer?
That's what I meant. What did I say?
Oscar Mayer.
Oh, you don't want a hot dog cookie?
Nah.
That's what I meant. His wife makes them every morning and she puts 2 in a bag. And every time he goes and does a cleaning, I literally drive to that house before the client gets home just to take the cookies. That's it. That's all I wanted. But hey, just, the little things that matter.
Little things.
But I remember that cookie like it's, out of 10 years, I still talk about those cookies. Well, anyways, Bruce, it was a pleasure having you on the pod. Thank you so much for coming. We're so glad that you're a part of our network. And let's do something crazy in 2026.
Let's do it.
All right, you guys. We'll see you guys at the next episode of A Cup of Joe.